But I do talk a lot about how our childhood has shaped who it is that we are. It even shapes our, decision making, right? So, say for me, for example, I've been in relationships where, for me, like my family, we were all about love. So, love is the best thing. So you go broke for love and things like that. Other people, like may have been raised that, like, no, like, you go for what makes sense. You go for what makes logical, financial sense. And even if we're not happy, we're going to stay together because this looks good on paper, right? So now, as we're starting to awaken and God is getting y'all more in touch with your divine side, like, material things don't matter, right? And we talk about an ego death. Ego death is when you realize that, like, yeah, all of the things that I used to protect myself, to make me feel like I was the shit, right? All the things that I used to dress up, but yet and still I wasn't dealing with what was going on in the inside. Like, yeah, we're being forced to deal with what's going on in the inside. And a lot of times, what's going on is there's a little boy or there's a little girl that was stunted from our childhood, some type of trauma, like Mr. Douglas said, that happened in our childhood, and we are still stuck in that mindset. So those of us that have been through abuse, right? Sexual abuse, physical abuse. Those are people, abandonment issues, parents that may have been on drugs or things like that, people that were raised in the foster care system, all types of things. Like, we develop all different types of attachment styles. We love differently, and all of those things. So it's like we have to recognize how it is that we were raised and how it affects us now. Because a lot of times, men who choose toxic women had toxic women growing up, right? So that toxicity, like, that was familiar. So you go out and you pick somebody that is familiar. And we don't always realize that they're toxic because they look nice on the outside. They so sweet. They'll do what I say. They're so just that and the other. But really, we were attracted to that person because they had the same toxic energy signature as our mom, our grandmom, our aunts, right? So it's like, as we start to awake, we start to step back and say, you know what, I don't want to continue this cycle. And the beautiful part about that is, as we begin to change and make different decisions, right, then we make it better for our children. So say me, for example, right? So I have a daughter and I